Here we go, chat. Let's see what game had the most revenue in the past month. I haven't clicked Zoom. We didn't see this yet. I'm gonna go ahead and assume probably fucking Honkai Star Rail with Firefly. Gotta be honk shit Starbucks. Maybe I can see Wuwa being either number 2 or number 3. For Genshin, probably around 4 or 5. All right, let's see. Yeah, to no one's surprise, honk shit Starbucks, 60 million doubloons. Genshin in CN, and this is CN only. In Genshin CN, they just had 38 million. It's just still pretty great, by the way. Like, don't look at these numbers and go, that's kind of trash. I'm surprised they even managed to get this much money. I'm gonna assume it was because of what was the new character? Chlorind, and that's a Raiden lookalike. I guess that's fair. Sure. Honk shit Starbucks, it didn't sell too well in the global side. So I guess a lot of people maybe are starting to have the burnout and, you know, people understanding the loophole of Honkai Star Rail in the global side. I mean, just get Firefly and nuke everything. Maybe people are getting a little tired. They're not spending as much money on the units. Maybe. We'll see. Wuthering Waves in the top 4. 12 million to 29 million doubloons, and it just pulled up. You'll love to see it. It's great. It's fan-fucking-tastic. We knew this was happening. I'm surprised it's not above Genshin, but then again, I guess I forgot that Chlorine was a popular enough character. The power of the button in those boobs are pretty good. Maybe even the rerun with Farina recently. I mean, that a lot of people want Farina, and she's a big fan favorite. So why not? Genshin, even the global as well. 100%. It makes a lot of sense. Naruto Mobile. Wow. Ouch. Love in Deep Space. Imagine the power of wet panties and gay dudes. Like, whoa. They make a lot of money here. Solo Leveling. I hear good stuff about this game, but it seems to be a downtrend. I don't know. Puzzles and Dragons. Wuthering Waves in China is not doing the hottest. So Wuthering Waves is more popular. Is a lot popular. Probably almost twice as popular in the global side, more than it is in CN. That's interesting. So what explains this? CN hates Wuwa with a passion. Why? Why does CN hate Wuwa with a passion? What's wrong with it? Are they Hoyo cucks? Like, what's happening? That's because most people can't play on mobile. Maybe? Is it above Genshin, but not at China? Yeah, okay, so for the global side, it is official that Wuthering Waves has beaten Genshin. But Genshin had a bit of a rough patch. Like, it's not their hottest patch. But for Wuwa, it kind of was. Like, 1.1 is pretty big. Okay, let's not sit and pretend. But if you take into consideration also the popularity of these games, it is very much an achievement that Wuthering Waves managed to beat Genshin by that 1 million. Like, that's quite the achievement, I'm not gonna lie. I can jump on VC and explain what I was told if you want. Sure. No, CN complains about every gacha. Okay, so they just complain. By the way, this chart is mobile, so Wuwa probably made way more since it's more popular on PC. Yeah, exactly. I do feel like Wuthering Waves probably made even more money if we count PC. I do feel like there's more PC users, especially in the global side, than mobile users. And also, the fact that we have this much mobile users tells me the optimization issues must be pretty down right now. Because I heard there were some recently for 1.1, but they didn't pick up that much steam, and I can see why, I guess. It's reflecting on the numbers. They sure eat the slop. Genshin feeds them every patch, though. So it seems. I do feel like Genshin in CN is definitely popularity, as in the name and the IP. People are already used to it and probably addicted to it, more so than it is a great game, so to speak. And maybe Genshin also encourages very casual play, something that China, because the culture really appreciates more so than Wuwa. Wuwa, like, you can sit here for hours and hours and play, and people can start feeling like they're FOMOing, they're not advancing. So yeah, tough, I guess.
So first things first, of course, I am not fluent in Chinese. I'm not really part of that community. I'm just going to tell you what I've been told. First things first, what did you think about Wuthering Waves' first 1.0 story? The overall, like, acts 1 through 6, including 6, 5 and 6 as well. Just your impressions.
It's a solid 6 out of 10. Nothing too special, nothing too unique, but it's a good story. Like, it's not bad. It's like a fucking gacha game. They're trying to sell you bitches. They're not trying to sell you a story.
Okay. And what do you think particularly to do with Act 5 and Act 6 to do with Jian and him as a character?
It's decent. It was good. I mean, he was like the leader of the cause. He helped us. He fought off the crownless or whatever that thing is called. It was good. It was good. Like I think Gian was done pretty well, in my opinion. Like as good as a 6 out of 10 story can do.
Right. Okay. So from what I've been told is that CN absolutely fucking hates Gian, like with a passion.
Okay.
Right. Right. I was talking to someone on Twitter about a while back. I was talking about like why is this big hatred from CN to do with Wuthering Waves, and they sent me a really interesting like DM explaining everything. So I'm just going to read what they said to me verbatim. Okay, so I'm just going to read this. So the major thing is the relationship between Jian, Geshe-Lin, and the way and the general way Wuthering fleshes out its ongoing war between the Jinzhou and the Discords. Many people are upset with Jian leading the army away from the front line, leaving Geshe-Lin in the lore to be believed dead. In the minds of CN, they spent a long time building up the danger Discords face towards humanity, especially the Threnodians. So when Jian quote unquote deserted his duties, this goes against the ideal in Chinese society of laying down your life for the greater good.
Oh,
yeah. So much like in the US, there's a reverence for service members sacrificing lives so that civilians can be safe. This becomes a bigger deal when the game spends a lot of the time discussing how understaffed and funded the backline is, that they can't support the frontline, and the frontline pushes forward, ignoring their problems. In the eyes of many CM players, this compounds their issue with the supposed support Kuro has for dishonorable actions taken by Jian. So like they're propping up Jian as the good guy.
Sources prove. I heard of this too, Kat. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. This is not. I remember seeing this and hearing about this. China was pretty pissed off with Jian, because their culture is like he's a general. He's supposed to be the first one to die in the battlefield. You know, die for your country, die for that shit. Yeah, that was a big deal for China when Wuthering Waves was starting off. And a lot of Chinese players complained a lot more about the story more so than the optimization issues.
Yeah. So like I said, with Kuro Games propping up Jian as the good guy, as like the person that we were supposed to pull for and we're supposed to support.
Yeah.
CN sees him as a deserter, like ignoring his duty to back up Geshe-Lin. That's one.
Sounds like a smart dude. I mean, he's alive and bro's dead. No,
I mean, we think that, but it's like, I mean, from what, and this is like me going off from the message here. It seems like CN sees things in a very black and white.
Oh yeah, I know.
So it's either you support them regardless, no matter what, whether it's right or wrong, or you desert. And that's just my opinion. But let me just go back to what because he had some more as well. To do with, Yang and also Genshin as well.
Okay.
The front line is laying down their lives to protect both civilians and the backline, and they feel the backline is ungrateful for the efforts of these heroes protecting them. A lot of it comes down to the idea that Kuro is pedestaling an incompetent general, Jian, who left the battlefield and people to die. So that he's so useless, he gives a stranger, i.e. Rover, power over a plan to defeat the Threnodian he ran away from all those years ago. So like in the part where Jian's asking us, what do you think we should do about what plan of attack should we do?
Yeah.
They don't like that part issue either, because they thought that it was Jian just delegating his duties, like just like ignoring.
I'm not gonna lie, I found that weak too. That shouldn't have been done. I mean, you're a fucking general and a war veteran. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to know? Like, bitch, you give us the plan. We'll follow your orders. You're the fucking general here, not me.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I'm just reading what I'm being told.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, China is strictly a martial society. That's what they're saying. But concepts of duty and honor are present in daily life. Everyone from an office worker to a military member is expected to act as part of a greater whole, pushing the nation forward and making lives better for everyone. Those who act against that, who walk back in their duties and to leave it to others, they're seen as dead weights to society, and Jian fits that role to them. There's also often critique for little things like when we let the criminals go after breaking military equipment, because this equipment is meant to protect Jinzhou and alert it to tacit discords. Letting them go is seen as the devs basically saying it's okay to endanger others if you're hungry or desperate. Yang being a part of the military and Genshin being a Taoist, it's unexpected for them that neither would follow the ideals expected of people following these paths and bring these people to justice. So they're saying like with Yang being the Rangers, because they're Yang is more like she'd be like the equivalent of a police officer, really.
Yeah, she is.
Police officer. Yeah. So and in CN, in China, police officers would not let people get away with anything, basically. So having Yang Yang let them get away with
Who did she let get away with what?
you know, in the beginning where we meet Genshin and we go with Genshin to fight to the other location, and on the way we see these bandits.
Yeah. But Genshin let them go. Yeah.
I know where they both let them go. Like even if Genshin did let them go, Yang Yang wouldn't have let them go. That's what they're saying. But the thing, they're even saying that
Maybe it's outside her district. Like she's not in the city anymore. They're in the wilderness.
Well, that could be a reason, but I'm saying that's what the way that the CN is seeing it is that they would not have let them go under any and all circumstances, like at all.
Okay.
And I was saying like I think Jian's reasoning was a little more complicated than that, and
yeah,
I guess that doesn't really matter to CN. Like I see Jian as more of a gray character, whereas
he is.
Like before,
imagine a character being complex.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I was saying as well. Like, whereas China just wants them. You either love them or you hate them. There's like black or white. There's no, that's why with like CBT1 story things, they didn't want the other characters, like say like Chixia or.
So Chinese are never neutral.
Yeah. Well, they're never gray. They're never. I don't know. This is just what I'm being told. I can't really speak for that. But like, I'm not saying this like all Chinese think that way. I'm just like the Chinese players that are the vast majority of Chinese players that are outraged at Wuthering Waves, they're outraged at Wuthering Waves for these reasons, not just quote unquote like a Genshin copy or like a optimization.
No, I know. I don't think they care. It's just that the story and the cultural stuff, basically.
Yeah, they seem to have a fundamental issue with the cultural issues.
Yeah, fair enough.
Annoys me because like Kura Games changed CPT1 story like 90%, or overhauled the entire thing to placate them, to like satisfy them, and they're still not happy. And like, God fucking damn.
No, I think Kuro is basically trapped between like I heard yesterday, a hard place and a hard cock. As in, if they're gonna come to us and do the things we like for us, Wuthering Waves story was maybe lackluster in terms of storytelling, etc. But all in all, what it's trying, the moral values of it are good for Western audiences, I believe. However, for if they were to do the opposite, where it's too strict and it's too this and it's too that, I don't think it will be well received by Western audience. And maybe though I do feel like they should have opted for that one, for the latter. If CN are this much of crybabies, I don't think us in the global side of things would have cared as much, to be honest.
I agree. I think to be honest, I think Kura Games should just completely forget about CN as a market. I mean,
no, it's the other way around. If they're such crybabies and you need to give them that perfect story, perfect this, perfect that, because it's their culture and these characters are Chinese, so you know it matters to them a lot. Give them whatever the fuck they want. Most players out here in global don't really care about the story that much. We just enjoy good fucking video games, and that's it.
I want to push back on that because when we're playing Yinlin's story, the biggest criticism that I heard about Yinlin's story particularly was that the villain in that story was completely one-dimensional and not interesting in the slightest. So here's an example of a one-dimensional, like very, very black. Okay, he's this, and he's the bad guy, like mustache twirling type of bad guy. And that, from what I heard,
no, don't do it for cultural shit though. Oh, hold on, don't do it for cultural shit though. That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, police officer, that city represents China. He's a general of a Chinese army. Yeah, just make the characters act like they're supposed to act and respect the cultural norm in China, is what I'm saying. But yeah, of course, the character should have depths and shit. Just make sure it doesn't conflict with cultural shit in China. I guess I should be more precise.
Okay, that's completely fair then. I get that.
Yeah, I think that's what they should do, and that's it. Like, keep them crybabies happy. I mean, it's not really crybabies, it's just how they are as people. If we don't understand it, that's fair, but it is what it is.
Again, personally speaking, I really enjoyed the grayness of Jian's character and all the other characters. I enjoy the complexity, which is like the recent trend in like Western media. Is like we get behind these ambiguous, like morally ambiguous characters nowadays, like Game of Thrones, like a Breaking Bad, all these stuff. The popular series, they're all like The Boys, like the recent series as well. Like we tend to enjoy those morally gray characters more, and I don't know, maybe it just seems like CN just doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. They don't. No, I think it's also what they represent. I think they can. That she shouldn't have been a cop and he shouldn't have been a general of a Chinese army. I do believe those are the main points. Because we do have complex characters saying Genshin. There are some weird ass complex characters, but You don't see them being Chinese. I think who was it? D-Luke. He has all kinds of issues. He's complex. No one cares. Fucking Tartaglia is a traitor. Technically, he works with us sometimes. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because he's Russian. He's not Chinese. I think it's definitely the Chinese part, I think.
Maybe. I mean, you probably are right. I'm just giving my perspective. Like that's what I was told, and that's how I feel about these characters. That's why we have this discrepancy between how successful Wuthering Waves has been in global compared to how it's been treated, how it's been accepted in China. I think that's all I wanted to really.
Shenhe is complex. Shenhe is complex, but she doesn't break anything bad as in the Chinese culture. Plus, she's hot. I'm pretty sure she can get away with a lot of shit for how hot she is.
Much of a problem if Gingy wasn't the China region of this
I need to stop.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying too, TGV.
I just wanted to jump in and.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot, man. Thank you.
To maybe explain a bit more on the situation.
I appreciate it, man. So now that we know what the fuck happened with Wuthering Waves in China, I guess it's fair to say maybe Kuro can just fix things up a little and have this. I'm actually more curious to see the JP side of things for Wuthering Waves. I don't think we have it here. Wuthering Waves. Do we have Wuthering Waves for JP? Oh my god, Tower of Fantasy can't even break a mill. Poor Tower of Fantasy, dude. I don't really see Wuthering Waves JP, unfortunately. It's only a mobile revenue statistic. I believe that PC revenue is much higher. Yes, I do believe for Wuthering Waves, it beats Genshin with PC, but then again, Genshin has PC players as well. So like we should see in terms of that competition. But I'm really curious to see the Wuwa JP revenue. I think it's very important considering the drama that happened there recently. They are obviously trying to cater to JP a little bit more. They're maybe trying to give them some favoritism. We'll see. But ultimately, this isn't too shocking. I do believe everybody could have seen this coming personally. I'm happy that Wuthering Waves is doing great. I'm happy Star Wars is doing great. Even in Genshin, like, I just hope numbers make them do better changes. But it is what it is, man. Console 2. But for console, I think Genshin wins by a margin because WoW doesn't have a console version just yet. So I don't think it does shit. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Were you surprised by this? Personally, I don't think we were, but here's what it is. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. See ya.